loved being pregnant because of how my dad treated her.
See, I think
So it was always nothing but warm, good, happy. Yes.
Love has a lot
Yeah.
to do.
Right.
You're hovering right over it. I think that my mom said the same thing. Her and my father were really close in that time. And I think the child picks up on
Well,
that.
that's what I said. It
Yeah.
has to be
really,
somewhat
really
charitable.
do.
It
Yeah.
makes a
Right.
difference.
Yeah.
Versus a mother who's going around saying, I feel like 1,000 pounds, and I wish this stomach would hurry up and go down. I mean,
Right.
the kid probably feels, I'm just in the way. Why in the hell did I come here?
And I got
Right.
a long
You know?
time to be here.
Yeah,
So,
so-
it's time for me to get
Exactly.
out.
And see,
It's already imprinting a negative
Something.
self-worth.
Right.
I would imagine. Yeah.
no, well, what I was going to say was with the Hispanic culture, what I've noticed, because we're very superstitious, okay? So if you, I know, totally brand new breaking news. I know it's breaking news. But I was, always told that if you have a child that's constantly sighing, or just an infant, so that means they're saying that means during the pregnancy that their mother was stressed out
I can believe
labor
that.
because
already.
it's all the weight,
I can
so
believe
they're
that.
finally born and they're
Relieved,
Yeah,
actually.
right. The word necio, like real fidgety, very anxious, very restless.
Okay.
That's kind of what that means. Very restless, and they said if you see an infant, especially like a newborn, in that state,
Then
that
that's
means
why.
that their mother had a stressful pregnancy.
So that imprinting
Well,
goes
yeah.
Right,
all
and
carry
one of
over.
my really good friends, she ended up her last child. She ended up going through a lot. She ended up in the middle of a separation, stressed out with work and everything. That's the first thing I noticed after her daughter was born is that she would constantly do that.
Really?
Yes, and immediately I was like, it's
It
because
has
she
to
was
have an
so
impact.
stressed out,
It has to
right?
have an
Because she
impact.
was so stressed during her pregnancy this last
And
time.
see, when
so.
you're pregnant, they'll tell you to, listen to classical music or do things that are soothing
Right.
and calming.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't understand how men become violent to their women
Yeah.
when they're pregnant, because all of that affects
Jealousy.
that child. Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily know that it's jealousy. I've been around a few pregnant women. I don't have any kids, but I've been around a few of them. And women in general have very rapid mood swings. When they're pregnant, they happen so rapid, and there's no logic. You just have to wear a bulletproof vest because
You gotta
It's a
go with it.
hormone.
You gotta go with it.
They come so. But here's the problem: we don't know how to deal with you when you're not pregnant. It's hard enough
That's
to
true.
deal with
That's
you.
true enough.
You all don't know how to deal with yourselves when you're pregnant. So it's
Oh,
like
we
they come
understand
at you
each
so
other well.
fast. You can only take so. Yeah, it's like
We
just
understand
leave me
each other well.
alone.
Right.
That's exactly what the
Leave me alone.
the
I weigh
code word
1,000
is.
pounds.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I will run over you.
That's the code word.
Yeah, we
See,
get
It's your fault I look like this.
If the fact that he's there, it's, most of the time the men are there trying to accommodate or appease you or to show some love to you, and you're snarling and
Of course.
throwing
Foaming at the
bullets and
mouth.
foaming at the mouth, and that's not good enough. This is the wrong flavor. It's like, what the hell with you? I mean,
damn
I
right.
want pickles and ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, hey, when you're
Yeah.
pregnant,
drive
that's not
any
even
man
that's
to
not even the
rage.
woman talking. That's the baby. That's
Yeah.
the baby trying to decide what I like, what I
Crazy.
don't like. This is what I need. This is what I want.
But all of self-esteem, the onset of it, as we just said, starts in utero. But more importantly, through early childhood development, you have
Yes,
to
it does.
nurture that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
there is nature,
Right.
and yet
And
there's
then there's
nurture.
nurturing. Yeah.
Right, just like when your child is learning to walk, or they're learning how to read, or learn anything. My parents always praised us,
Oh yeah, you
always, and
Right.
we do the same thing with my niece. It's such an accomplishment. Okay,
Right.
great job, you did this. Now you can do this by yourself, or do
Right.
that.
Right.
I hate as a former teacher to hear people negatively correct their children.
Right.
Yeah.
Just tear them down.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. It's just stupid. That does nothing
That's
for
not
a
a good
child.
idea.
And so
Yeah.
then the child starts to believe that I am stupid. Maybe
Yeah,
I
I
am
can't do
slow. I
something
can't
right.
do this
Something
right.
No matter what I do.
So you start messing with their self-esteem.
Research shows that any child that grew up in a household or had a parent that was slightly narcissistic would have issues with self-esteem. And what you just described, OMG, is someone who has this persona that it has to be a perfect way or a perfect perception. And so that kid can never get it right.
There's no gray area.
There is
You
no,
just-
yeah, you can
there's
never
no
get it
gray
right.
area.
And I'm like you, Daydream, that my grandparents and my parents is like, I could do no wrong. I got praised and applauded for everything. I mean,
Right.
I'm
And
telling
heaven knows.
Oh,
look
Heaven
at
knows.
what it has- look at what it has-
97% of it probably was bad, but
Right.
they didn't tell me.
Oh,
They
yeah, I
said,
have no doubt
he'll
about it.
figure it out on his own.
doubt about it.
I say this. I have no doubt about it. And I'm not trying to throw anything at you, not trying to throw beans at you or anything, because I was the same way. I was the only girl. Okay,
I'm the only child.
I was the only
the
girl
first boy.
on both sides of the family, and I'm the oldest granddaughter.
Okay.
So, and then to top it off, on my dad's side, I was the first daughter of the firstborn.
So you were Queen Daydream.
Absolutely,
Oh.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I, and growing up,
Expectations.
attitude,
Yeah, right.
and that could be a whole other story too. Attitude to get knocked off that high horse, you have to learn to humble yourself. But I learned at an early age that even if I'm not confident about it, you don't let anybody know
Oh, you
your
don't never let them
weakness.
see you
Never let
do
them
that.
see you.
Never.
Yeah.
And I have to say, we were actually raised pretty, with a pretty gangster mentality. Yeah. So, because
Yeah.
the Godfather,
Gangster,
the Godfather
what's that?
played in the house.
It's like a hustle.
Right. Right. The Godfather played in the house all the time. So my mom was very much of, you don't let other people know what you don't let them know. You fake it till you make it.
Absolutely.
You don't let anybody else know what your weakness is. That's for you to know and for you to learn how to adapt and deal with.
As a matter of fact,
And see,
it
mine
says,
So-
was opposite. I mean, the most violent show that I could watch was Starsky and Hutch, or maybe 8 is Enough. I mean, they just felt.
Oh
like,
yeah, don't get me wrong.
they
We
just
weren't
felt
allowed to
like
watch
what
it, but that's
imprinted-
just the type of
Yeah.
attitude, and
They
trust
were
no
old
one.
school. Wow.
But we'll hold that thought.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back
Right
after
back.
this short break. Please give us a call at 713-789-0096. We would love to hear from you. We'll be right back.
It- it's-
10 minutes goes fast, doesn't it?
they always
Yeah.
go fast.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
But then